friends, today we're going to explore monoprints. Monoprints is a form of printmaking, but it's really unique because every print you make is truly a one of a kind. There's only a few materials you need to do a monoprint. You need a clean surface that you can put paint on. This could be a plate, this could be a counter, maybe your bathtub, that could be fun, or today I'm using a cookie sheet. And then you need paint, of course. We're using tempera paint because we know that it's washable. I really highly recommend a washable paint for this activity. Then I have a foam paintbrush that I'm going to use. I chose foam because this tends to smooth the paint on my tray evenly. And you'll know why that's important in a little bit. And then I have a paper towel because sometimes with paint you tend to get messy. And then the fun part of printmaking is you get to pick different tools that you get to scrape the paint away. And I'll demonstrate that here shortly. Some of the tools I chose are a popsicle stick, a spoon, a fork. You could use this edge or maybe even this edge. And today I might even be using my fingers. So the first thing you do when making a monoprint is choose what paint you want to use. Today I'm choosing red. Then you get your brush and you want to spread a very thin layer of paint onto your clean surface. In this case, I'm spreading a thin layer of paint on my cookie sheet. You don't want it to be too thick because then that might end up with globs and smudges in your print. So I'm just doing a little bit of paint at a time. Notice how I'm going evenly and spreading it nice and smooth across my tray. That's important. You want to cover your tray with however big a piece of your paper is. So if you're using a small piece of paper, you wouldn't have to cover the whole tray. Okay, we just about have a smooth layer over the whole piece. Here, I'll show you. See, it's just a nice thin smooth layer. Now I get to decide what I want my picture to be. Red, I think I might make some heart balloons. That sounds fun. I'm going to use my spoon. I'm going to see what that happens. See if I can scrape away the shape of a heart. I'm noticing that this part of my spoon is doing a very thin line. It's not very thick, but it still shows up. Can you see my heart? Okay. If I wanted it to be bigger, maybe I could try the back end of my fork. Let's see what happens when I do that. Oh yes, that does make a little bit bigger line. That might show up better. Or what's really fun, you can use your finger and just draw whatever shape you want. I got paint on my hands. That's okay. I can just put it on a paper towel. And when I'm all done, I might even make red bubbles when I'm washing my hands. So I have my hearts on my tray, and I remember I wanted to make heart balloons. So maybe I'll use my popsicle stick to make the string of my balloon, because that'll be nice and skinny. Ooh, there we go. And then I want one more heart. I'll do one just like that. Paper towel, and then I'll squiggle that along the way. And then see, I've got 2 hearts on my tray. Now I want to be careful and make sure I do my print quick enough before the paint dries. Because right now, this paint is wet. So I'm gonna put my white piece of paper and I'm gonna lay it very carefully on the top of my picture. Notice how I'm not going to rub it around because that would probably smear the paint. Instead, I'm just gonna gently pat. Just tap my hands all around the picture. When this happens, the paint that's on the tray is going to transfer to my white piece of paper. And when I pick it up, you're going to notice where I scrape the paint away, it's going to show up as a print. Ready? Let's check it out. Here's my monoprint. Look at my heart balloons. They're definitely one of a kind. Now I'm going to let you guys in on a little trick. Letters can be silly when you're trying to make a monoprint. When you do it, I'm gonna add the paint again, spread it on there. One interesting thing about a monoprint is that it tends to be a mirrored image. And a mirrored image means that whatever I print is going to show up backwards on my final paper print. So whatever I put on my tray is going to show up backwards. So if I wanted to write the word play, and I wrote it like I normally do, P-L-A-Y, I wrote play just like I would normally spell it on a piece of paper. See, I'll show you. It says play. But something very silly is going to happen when I put my paper on it. When I put my paper on it and press down, it's going to show the mirrored effect, which means I think it's going to be something silly. Oh no, did it spell play backwards? That's silly. That's not what I was going for. But what's fun is that this backwards print shows you how you should write it in general. So if I make a mistake like that, I can put this picture right in front of me and I can try again. So if I would put more paint on my tray and then spell play backwards like this is, when I print it, it would show up like this and say play. When we make this post, we'll make sure to add the alphabet written backwards, just like this for you. So remember, any word you want to spell, you gotta write the word backwards as well as the letters backwards so you can make the correct monoprint. Thank you and have a great day.